All right. So today we got one of the people's champs, Mr. Bernie Sanders, talking about what's going on with another of the people's champs, Elon Musk.
Senator Sanders joins us. Now, you talk about an oligarchy running the White House. You have billionaires now currying favor with the new administration, donating to the presidential library, the inauguration, making deals with family members of the Trump family. How far are we from a kleptocracy?
Well, let's start with oligarchy, and I think we are there. When you see three of the richest people in this country, the three richest, standing behind the president when he gets inaugurated, when you see Elon Musk, who contributed over $200 million, 270, to get Trump elected, and then becomes, in many ways, the most important appointee of the Trump administration. And when you see, since Trump's inauguration, Elon Musk becoming $150 billion richer in 2.5 weeks, $150 billion richer, you tell me whether or not we are living in an oligarchy. And I think the function of government under Trump, under Elon Musk, will not be to serve ordinary people, but to make the very richest people in this country even richer.
There are probably some people watching who think, oh, Elon Musk, smart guy. He's got these 19, 20-something-year-old tech wizards going into government and looking for waste and abuse. And what's wrong with that? What is wrong with what is going on?
Nothing wrong with looking for waste and the kinds of bureaucracy that exist. I think we can do a whole lot to get rid of the waste, the fraud, the excessive bureaucracy that exists in government, especially, by the way, in the Defense Department. What is wrong right now is one simple reality. What Musk is doing is illegal and unconstitutional. You cannot go into an agency like USAID and essentially fire everybody and get rid of that agency. You cannot do that's an agency that was created by Congress. They want to get rid of USAID.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't understand why not. It's a job. They work there. Why can't they be fired? But I'm guessing it's because, like they were saying, people were appointed by Congress, and anything done by Congress has to be voted on and undone and elected to do.
Fine. Come to the Congress, make your case. You can't do it unilaterally. You cannot withhold U.S. funds that were appropriated for Medicaid, for community health centers, for Head Start. You cannot put a freeze on that. That money was appropriated by the Congress. And as I hope every fourth grader in America knows, Congress holds the purse strings. And what I also worry about is not just the movement toward oligarchy, but this growing...
Because not every 40-year-old in America knows. Yeah. I didn't even know that they were necessarily considered the purse string holders. I knew that they controlled a lot, but I didn't know people called them the controllers of the purse. Yeah.
Trend toward authoritarianism. I hope the American people are seeing clearly that we had the January 6th rioters, the people who were trying to, in a sense, overthrow an election, undermine democracy, contributed to the injuring of 170 Capitol Hill police officers. They are pardoned. And then the FBI agents who worked hard to make the case, doing what they are told, they are now being investigated. What is the future of the FBI? Is the criteria to be an FBI agent in the future one who swears allegiance to Donald Trump or one who upholds the Constitution and the rule of law? And I'll tell you something else in terms of authoritarianism. And this is something that you and other people in the media should pay attention to. ABC paid a fine to Donald Trump, presumably for, saying something that he didn't like. Meta, owned by Zuckerberg, paid a $25 million fine to Trump. Right now, Paramount, that owns CBS, is contemplating reaching a settlement with Trump. He has sued the Des Moines Register. The FCC is now investigating PBS and NPR. That is a movement toward authoritarianism when you go after and intimidate an independent media. So you add it all together, we're moving toward an oligarchy, we're moving toward authoritarianism, and in terms of kleptocracy, well, what can I say? Just before he got inaugurated, Trump and his wife issued coins. They made billions of dollars. Anybody can give to the president, in a sense, by buying those coins. So the American people are going to stand up and fight back, or else we're going to be in real trouble.
We had a historian, Doris Kearns-Goodwin, on last week who talked about Andrew Jackson corrupting, essentially, government employees, giving out favors to people who curried favor with him. He gave them civil service jobs. And it took generations in America to correct that. And it took Teddy Roosevelt being the civil service commissioner for 6 years to really root that out and get a civil service that served the American people and not whoever was in power. The damage being done, potentially, people think, oh, well, maybe it's just going to be 4 years. The damage can be for generations.
Right. I mean, it goes without saying that I think the overwhelming majority of Americans want a strong, efficient, independent civil service. We can make improvements. I am not here to tell you that we don't have a bureaucracy, that we don't have waste. We do. We got to work on that. But you don't get rid of thousands and thousands of dedicated public servants and replace them with people who are simply loyal to Donald Trump. That's not the way a democracy is supposed to work.
Let me just quickly ask you, on Gaza, when you heard the President of the United States talking about turning the Gaza Strip, getting 2 million Palestinians out, is anybody who has read history or the region or been watching for the last year, did you think this was a joke at first? Can you believe?
Almost. Look, one could say that, Anderson. On the other hand, given the suffering that the Palestinian people have gone through under Netanyahu's brutal war, which has killed at least 45,000, injured over 100,000, mostly women and children, the idea that the President of the United States is going to say to these people, oh, by the way, you're going to have to leave the place where you live because we are going to build something equivalent to the French Riviera.
Well, also the thugs of Hamas are still there. It's not as if they have gone.
To say, but even that's right. So, and as you just discussed a moment ago, how do you do that? Are American troops involved? How much money is being spent? But the idea of telling 2.2 million people who live in an area, you're gone, we're going to build the French Riviera here so my billionaire friends can enjoy the beautiful view. It is, to say the least, preposterous. It ain't going to happen.
Sintra has just...
Seeing all that destruction right there, dog, that right there is crazy. It doesn't look like people lived there even a year ago. Like, the whole thing is just essentially gone, devastated.